Howdy, Wels. Dang it, I fell in a flower.
Hello, hello. What's up?
Not much. I've got this IOU here that I won in that auction, courtesy Horsehead Farms. And I had a project I thought, maybe you would be well suited for.
Well, I didn't know that the IOU would end up with somebody else, but I'm open to maybe helping out with something. What do you need?
Awesome. Well, why don't you just follow me this way? Tell me, when you did give the IOU, what were you expecting to have to trade later?
Well, I don't know. It was like 3 diamonds worth of stuff, I think. So, maybe like 3 diamonds worth of stuff.
Okay. So in terms of 3 diamonds worth of stuff, as you can see, we've been trying to build kind of a medieval village kind of thing around here. One thing that I've been working on, which is not medieval yet, is this flower farm up here.
Okay.
It is just purely, at this point, mechanical and hideous. So if you join me up here, you can see I've got some exposed redstone that I can use to automate turning it on. And basically, the way it works is there's bone meal underneath the ground here in dispensers. And then there's water, and basically you just sit on this horse, and the horse gets pushed around by the water and you collect the stuff.
Okay.
What I was thinking is, you don't need to come in and change anything about the mechanisms other than maybe to conceal them, but visually updating this building to like maybe better suit the area, kind of giving it more of a medieval look to it, if that makes any sense.
So basically, you want to cover up the redstone and make it look pretty.
Yeah, and you would basically be able to pull in whatever you wanted in terms of, block palette or whatever. If there's stuff that you would need, I could even possibly provide the materials. As you can see, there's a bunch of different buildings around that all have slightly different palettes, but, so it'd be open to whatever you wanted to do.
Okay.
So, that seems worth about 3 diamonds, maybe.
I'd say it's worth like 3 diamonds, maybe, if you like provide all the resources.
Okay. So, how about this? If you want to go ahead and brainstorm on this and let me know what resources you need, I can go ahead, take that resource sheet you get me, and put them all in a chest for you here, and then you can get started at your convenience.
Yeah, that should work. I'm thinking, let's see. So you got like dark oak, basalt.
I mean, these were just temporary. This is what I had the most of in my chests, because I knew that I was going to rip this down and make it look pretty later. I was just trying to enclose it.
I'll probably just like do an extra wall on the outside of this to sort of cover it up, and then maybe like a thing over here. So like, you know what? Let's just keep it super simple.
Sure.
Lots of spruce, maybe some oak and dark oak. And then some stone and andesite and cobble.
Spruce, oak, dark oak, stone, and andesite. I've got a lot of that already pretty handy. So yeah, I can get that together, and then you can just swing by here and work on it at your convenience. I'll go ahead and I'll put all of those materials kind of out of the way, like down the hill here. Like, I'll put a scaffold marker in. Like, basically, I'll just set up a chest here with everything.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. While we wait for Wels to work on that wild building over there, I've got 2 orange tulips in my hands. Why? Because they are in incredible demand. We have sold out of every orange tulip we have. And so I think it's time for me to start working on the second automated flower farm. We're going to do that in a slightly different location. And you know what? Since Halloween's coming up and orange is a very spooky color, I got to thinking maybe we should theme that second flower farm to be a little bit spooky. And I started thinking, like, what are the distinctive, like, I don't want to do something that's just, like, super out of place with the build area, right? We're going to grab these pumpkins, too, because they're fun for decorating for Halloween. But, like, with the medieval look we're kind of going for in general around here, it wouldn't really look great if I just had, like, here is a giant pumpkin with a flower farm inside it. So I was like, what kind of abandoned house or structure would, like, look kind of Halloween-like, but not ruin the overall aesthetic of the build. So anyway, just on the other side of my starter house here, there is this wonderful little, basically flat spot where we can put in that new build. And I realized what I think I want to do is a distinctive cabin from some sort of horror movie. And there's a lot of great ones to choose from. There's Cabin in the Woods, there's Evil Dead, there's Evil Dead 2, there's Bruce Campbell versus the Army of Darkness. You know, a lot of really distinctive cabins in horror films throughout the years. But I was thinking that the probably the Evil Dead 2 cabin would be the best. Now, that's not a family-friendly, kid-friendly film. But you know what? The cabin that we're building isn't going to really have all the ancient horrors that, you know, showed up in the movie inside of it, on account of it needing to be full of a flower farm. So we'll have kind of the exterior of the cabin, I'm thinking, facing out this way. And in the original film, though, the cabin has a very flat approach leading up to it, which this does not. So if we're going to have a flat approach leading up to it, we have two options here. We can either fill this in with dirt or cut that down. Now, the thing about cutting that down is that's going to really kind of wreck our castle approach. Oh, wait, know what? Our castle approach is already wrecked. And so I'm guessing maybe... Well, even if we lower this by 2 blocks, that's still going to be too tall. Yeah, let's just start filling this in, and then we'll start working on the facade and the front porch. Time skip. Howdy, Cleo.
Hi, Joe.
Good news. You know how I deputized Welsknight to work on that flower farm so it's not hideous anymore?
Vaguely, yes.
Well, he hasn't shown up yet. So in the meantime, I've doubled down by creating another hideous flower farm. You want to come see?
Sure. Show me all the hideous flower farms you got.
So we completely sold out of orange flowers the other day. So I was trying to figure out exactly the best place to put an orange flower farm. And I found right here is just absolutely perfect. So I've been building a little bit of a facade that looks like a cabin.
Yeah, it's pretty cute actually. I do like the windows particularly. That's well done. Well done, Joe.
Thank you. Yeah, it's actually a cabin inspired by the film Evil Dead because somebody pointed out that it's already October 18th and I haven't done anything for Halloween yet.
Oh my goodness, you haven't.
No.
How dare you, Joe?
No.
That's sacrilege.
Yeah, and so now I've got a creepy Evil Dead cabin. You know.
Perfect. It's
and
a perfect place for a creepy Evil Dead cabin.
Yeah. I'm glad you like it, because we are probably going to have to move the road around the castle a little bit, but I think it should be far enough back it's not in the way.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's got to go on that side anyway, so it's fine.
Awesome.
And we just got to finish these walls.
Yeah, I figure if nobody shows up for HHH today, we could always work on that a little bit too.
That works for me.
But, okay, well, anyway, thank you for checking out the new cabin. I was hoping
it's very pretty.
That maybe you were an Evil Dead fan and would recognize it and freak out a little bit, but that's okay.
I am an Evil Dead fan. I didn't recognize it though. But now that you've said it, I do recognize it. So, you know, sort of half there.
Yeah, I'll try harder next time. The next time I build an Evil Dead cabin, you'll know.
Oh no.
You'll know. Dang it, I fell in the water again. Time skip.
Hello, Joe.
Howdy, Wels.
I've done a thing.
Ooh, I love things.
Don't we all? Things are great. Let me show you what I've done. So I owed you. I don't owe you now.
Ooh.
My O has been duh.
Wow. Yeah, that
probably doesn't even make sense, but like,
yeah,
you know,
it looks like you paid me what I was owed. This is already looking fantastic just from over here.
I'm glad you like it. So I've done some things, and I wanted to give you kind of a rundown, and also make some suggestions as to how you could take it further if you so desire.
Well, I love personalizing things, so yeah, go for it.
It's up to you. So I went with a very simple, just kind of, you know, classic Minecraft medieval sort of style. Kind of, you know, it's simple but effective. Gets the job done. It was kind of a weird shape to work with, but I made it work. Right here is your on-off switch.
Okay.
So it's currently set to off. You flip the lever. So down is on, up is off. Makes sense.
Got it.
The redstone line runs behind this wall. So if for some reason you need to access the redstone,
Okay.
you'll probably have to do it. You might have to just like bust your way into the like here.
Okay. So this is the safe place to knock out. Okay, cool.
Yeah, like right here. Basically, you've got just a redstone line that goes to the lever.
Mm-hmm.
And then it pops down here and goes to all the fancy clock stuff.
Ooh, the fancy clock stuff is actually what I was hoping to learn from you on.
Yeah, so I can give you a quick rundown on this. It's pretty straightforward. You have an etho hopper clock.
Mm-hmm.
Are you familiar with the etho hopper clock, or do you need me to explain the etho hopper clock to you?
I know that Etho created the hopper clock, but I would love an explanation because I actually am building a second flower farm that I've decorated myself to look like the cabin from Evil Dead, and I'm going to need to put one of these in the basement of that.
Oh, cool. Okay, so basically it's really simple. You lay out the comparators and the hoppers like this, right?
Okay,
These two hoppers go into each other,
got it.
and you put however many items you want. The more items you put in, the longer the clock will be.
Mm-hmm.
And as the items go back and forth, it'll basically push the piston, right? It'll activate these pistons, and they'll switch this redstone block back and forth. I timed it so that it's just fast enough that you get the bone meal, and then the water is out just long enough to fully extend, and then it's retracted.
Nice.
That's how I timed it.
This is great, Wels. I love this. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad it's working for you.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to make everything we sell so much easier. And I'm going to go down there and not actually physically rip apart, but I'm going to, mentally process this entire little etho clock here, look over some stuff online about them, and then hopefully rebuild a working one underneath my Evil Dead cabin. I consider this debt fully paid. Thank you so much, Wels.
Okay, awesome. You didn't see the backside. Good to go.
Oh,
we are fully square.
Uh-oh.
Everything. All right. Hey,
Yeah, no takesy backsies.
No takesy backsies.
Oh no. Let me go see let me go check the back while we're. Oh, that's fine. It feels.
I mean, look, terraforming wasn't part of the contract.
No,
okay?
no, and I know how to terraform this. I can clean that up myself. This is already great.
So I kind of did some I filled in the back of the wall for the build, but that's about all I did. I didn't do anything with windows and stuff back there because I wanted to make sure that you'd be willing to do the terraforming. But now you said we're good, so no takesy backsies.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's playground rules. I've seen the Squid Game. I'm not gonna break playground rules.
There you go. And you're welcome to decorate stuff however you feel so inclined.
Well, I certainly will. Thank you, Wels. This is fantastic.
Good. I'm glad you like it. If you need assistance further, please contact your customer service representative.
I will do, and I'm assuming that's Horsehead Farms.
Yes.
Make it hip.
Yes.
Problem.
All complaints may be filed with Horsehead Farms.
Well, folks, beneath our cabin in the woods house, we are ready to begin applying the lessons we learned from Welsknight. I've got a bunch of bone meal dispensers that are perfectly suited to fill this in up here. I could press this button, which represents like the equivalent of being triggered by the clock. Now, we've also got a redstone ladder that goes up here. You can't really see it too well, but that's going to be fine. We can trigger that too. What we need to do, though, is we need to build our very own etho hopper clock. And I don't actually really know how to do that. I saw Wels do that, and I think I gave myself enough space to try to do that. So we'll see how it goes. First thing we're going to do here, whoops, is I was going to say we're going to feed two hoppers into each other. That's already more difficult than anything else I could have hoped to achieve today, apparently. So let's go ahead and we're going to put 9 birch planks in here. So right now, as you can see, they're immediately feeding back and forth between each other. That's not ideal. So then I think what we need to do is let's put a redstone block here. So that means that this one is no longer feeding back out. It's accepting the items. Then we need to go ahead and make 2 sticky pistons. So maybe we put that here. And then over on this side, actually maybe that should be one more over. No, I think it's actually... No, that can't possibly be right. So we're going to go ahead and move this other one over one further back here. And we are going to put in comparators coming out of either side of these. Why? I don't know. And then we're going to take the redstone dust, apply that there, and there. So I think what it should do is count down, and every time it goes through, it triggers. Ta-da! Etho clock. So if we add a torch here, we can permanently disable it because the hopper will stop feeding there. If we have a lever that this runs to, that's going to be our on and off switch for the whole thing. As we approach our house here, it is now clear we've got the redstone dispensers in place. All the wiring is through the roof. Well, not really through the roof. It's through the floor. But you know what? I keep asking, what could I do more to improve this? You know what? I turned it on for the first time with exactly the same setup that Wels had, wiring-wise. And unfortunately, it didn't work. And I found out after about an hour of experimentation, the reason it was failing was because I had moved the dispensers up one block, which meant I needed to add 3 more items to the Etho hopper clock to get the timing perfect. As you can see here, it is now perfect. What I would rather do, though, is I would rather, instead of having this run slightly less efficiently than the one up the hill, I think we want to turn this off. Here we go. Boom. Throw the switch. And instead, I think we want to lower this. So we have this redstone carry from across there. Great. So the next thing we need to do is we need to pop back down and we need to turn down the hopper clock from 12 to 7. I think that should get this almost perfect. So boom, set that to 7. And we are going to turn this back on. And let's see, this bad boy should now be even more efficient than the model up the hill. Ooh, efficiency. I'm personally loving this. We are generating so many orange flowers so quickly. We can get these back in shop quicker than you can say, Cub, please buy more orange flowers for me. Why don't we do that now? Time skip. With Welsknight's flower farm behind us, and this cabin in the woods as well, we have coverage of most of the flowers that we need to keep in stock to sell. I am excited about how the diamonds will flow, and like I said earlier to Scar today, hello. Just kidding, it's time to say goodbye. The episode's almost over, and you might have noticed that this episode was pre-roll ad-free. That is thanks to Patreon sponsor Chris. But what about the mid-rolls? Where did those go? Those were gone thanks to Patreon sponsor Bioduck. In lieu of that mid-roll ad, I will now propose to you a poetry writing prompt of my own devising. You can write your poems and leave them in the comments below. Today's prompt is scary stories. Until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring.